This is Bunny. Today I thought we would just paint a model and I'd walk you through my thought process, talk about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And remember that we are approaching this from the standpoint of quick, easy, not a lot of difficult techniques. So we're going to skip some of the harder stuff and just do this basic and simple. So the first thing I'm going to do is paint this big rock area behind it. So this is a model of a dude who is made of stone, and he's got a stone globe in his hands. He's kind of ruined, a bit ruinous. It's fine. So what we're going to do, first I'm going to start with a fairly dark stone color. And this dark stone color, the type of acrylic paint I'm using is actually incredibly kind of gritty, and I like that for stone. And because this is my first layer of color, I'm not being careful. I'm just making sure I get all of the area where I want. So I want to get in all these little grooves. I want to get all of these little grooves. I want to get all the spots where I want this color. Okay, this is going to be my base stone color. So I'm kind of painting on the fly, deciding as I go, because you don't always have to have a big plan at the beginning. So I'm just covering this globe area because I think I want his body area to be more almost a whiter stone, maybe a marbly looking stone. That's what I'm kind of deciding as I go. I haven't actually made up my mind there, but I'm going to paint all these little rocks at the edges. And yes, I'm over painting, so I'm actually painting into some of the areas that are going to be a lighter color. But that's okay because I want to get the grooves where the two pieces meet. So now the trick is we have to let that dry completely. So we are going to walk away, let that dry, then I will continue on with my next color. But for right now, we're just walking away. All right, so that paint is entirely dry now, completely dry, not just to the touch. It's got to be 100% dry. So at this point, I just decide what I'm going to paint with my secondary stone color. Now, most people have a favorite stone color. Okay, let's be honest. Most of us go back to the same couple of colors when we're painting stone just because we like the way it looks. So I do like the dark gray, but it's not appropriate for all stone. So here I've decided to kind of go with a lighter marbly color. You know, it's not exactly marble, but it's a little bit of white and a little bit of the same stone color. So I've just basically mixed about 3 different paints, but I've used a base of the dark gray stone color that I like to use. So I have used that same basic color base so that they kind of do complement each other. But this isn't necessarily exactly marble, it's just a whiter stone. So it could be a limestone or whatever. It doesn't really matter because you're painting what you like to paint. So that's completely fine. We like this. It's pretty. It's pretty nice. I like this color. While I'm up here, I'm going to paint his hands. And I don't really worry so much. Again, if you're painting for yourself, you can decide what bothers you. So should I use a slightly smaller brush? Yeah, probably. Do I care that much? No. It's just hands. I don't care. It's just hands. It's just stone. It's not that big a deal. So you could easily switch to a smaller brush. I tend not to worry about it. I tend just not to care that much because honestly, these stone ruins, these kind of things, they don't show up in every single campaign we do. So if I'm not using them in every single campaign, and they don't, I mean, let's be honest, this piece I am not going to use in every single campaign. Let's just be honest about that. Even though it's cool and I like it and I would like to use it more than I probably will end up using it, but really it's just a terrain piece. It's not something that's going to be there all of the time. It's not like a character. So you kind of have to determine what your priorities are. And in my case, my priorities tend to be characters. So characters that are going to carry through the entire campaign, not just a single event, right? Because that happens a lot where you have one item, a single event and you use it one time and that's it. And that happens actually fairly frequently. Okay, that actually is really common, that you use a piece of terrain and that piece of terrain is only used the one time. That's really normal. So if you're only going to use that piece of terrain once, or even just once in a while, it's not going to feature majorly, then I wouldn't spend too much time fussing. You want it to look decent, yes, but do you need to fuss about every single aspect of it? Probably not. Okay, it's a good idea to make sure all your spots are covered, which apparently I am not doing that. There we go. My hands are shaking a little bit today because I do have hand tremors. So some people have noticed that in some of my videos that my hands are kind of shaking. It's because, yes, look, I just touched the paint. But yes, I actually do have hand tremors. It's actually not entirely uncommon for my hands to shake, and they are a little bit shaky today. So that's just the way it is. So I'm just kind of having to go a little bit slower than normal. Usually I whip through this kind of part really fast, but a little bit shaky today. That's okay. That's another reason why I don't tend to get too fussed if things don't go exactly the way I want them to go, because frankly, I have hand tremors. If I spend all my time worrying about exactly what the piece is going to look like, and I focus too much on the little details, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to end up spending all day just painting one color and fussing about it and worrying about it. I don't really want to worry. So yeah, I'm having a little bit of tremors today. So when I'm having a tremor day, I really don't care. I just decide, you know what? I think that looks pretty good. Now again, before we do our next set of colors, we do have to let that dry completely. So we're going to walk away and come back when that has fully set. All right, that guy looks pretty dry. So now it's time to start doing some accents. So when it comes to stuff like this, I like doing gold accents. That's just what I enjoy most. So most of my accents on stuff like this end up gold. It's just what I like. There we go. Anyway, when you are picking, you're gonna pick what you like the best. I like gold. Go with gold if that's what you like. If you don't like gold, go with something else. The other thing I do is I don't like too much busy work. So sometimes what happens is we see all these details and we decide, oh, I have to paint absolutely everything. But here's the trick. You don't. Okay? You don't have to go around and make sure absolutely everything is the perfect color. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go around and make sure every nook and cranny has bright, vibrant colors. It's okay to only highlight what you want to highlight. So you can decide, you know what? I don't really care about these little stars. Like I'm painting these stars and the lines here. You can decide you don't really care about those. That's okay. All right? You can 100% just decide, nah, don't care. And that's completely fine because it's actually irrelevant. What do you like? If you like lots of busy work, paint lots of busy work. But I'm not a fan. I like just painting some of the accents and making sure it looks the way I want it to look. 'Cause this is for me. Now, if I was painting for someone else, then obviously I would take what they liked into consideration. But we're not painting for somebody else right now. That's not what my channel's about. Do I paint for other people? Yes. Do I do a fancier job than when I paint for myself? Also yes, if they want me to. Some people don't, a lot of people don't like that fancier job. They literally want it to look simpler. There's nothing wrong with simple. And that's where I'm going right now. I'm doing this simple thing. Okay, I'm just getting some paint on my lines. That's always fun. Oops. That's a mistake there. I'll have to decide if I want to fix. This is a good time to look at mistakes you might have made. We all make them. Okay? All of us. Every single one of us makes mistakes. I don't care who you are. I don't care how long you've been painting. You miss. You sometimes go, "Ooh, no, that's not what I meant." And that's okay. It's an opportunity to decide if you care that much. Really, it is. Because you can decide, yeah, I might have missed there, but I don't much care. That's okay. Like, I just went over on that line I'm painting right this second. I don't care. It won't matter in the end. You'll see when it dries, it will matter far less than you think. Okay? It will matter far, far less than you think. So I'm just going to get in here some of these little bits at the edges. So decide exactly what you want to highlight, because if you spend your time absolutely obsessing over every detail, first of all, you're going to hate it. Okay? Second of all, you're going to spend forever on one piece. And we don't need to spend forever on one piece. These aren't that critical. This is a stone rune. This is ruined. It's broken. That's what it's designed for. Okay, it's designed to be a little bit broken. So it doesn't have to look the most fancy. It doesn't have to look the best. Because frankly, it's already broken. That's the whole point of its existence, is to be broken. Just switching over here, there's some viney stuff I want to get, and there's actually too much water on the edge of my brush. There we go. Just going to get some of these viney things. Let's get them in green. But if you obsess over everything, you're going to take way too long, and you're going to be mad at yourself because you've been painting the same thing for 3 weeks and you haven't made any real progress. But also, it looks so busy that what you want to see gets lost. So when you're looking at something, decide how it should look. Decide what parts you need to actually highlight beyond your base color. So if you pick a base color, so my base color was 2 colors, the 2 tones of gray. Outside of that, what do you want to highlight? And I am highlighting these kind of viney bits. Okay, so I'm highlighting these viney bits and some of the gold accents. I didn't paint all of the gold accents. That's what I want it to look like. So we are going to let that dry. We're not done yet. We're going to let that dry, and we'll come back. And that has to be completely dry, because the next thing I'm going to do is apply a wash. All right, so he's dry, and I'm going to apply a wash. I'm applying an incredibly dark black wash. I tend to like black washes. I enjoy how they make things look real dirty, because if these are ruins, then they're going to be dirty. They're going to be dirty and they're going to be gross. And that's what I'm going for. That's what I want it to look like. Now, obviously, you can choose any wash you like. Absolutely any wash you like. They don't have to be black. I just happen to have a thing for black washes. I really like how dark they make everything. It's one of the reasons I paint lighter than sometimes you might think I should. It's because I like to use the black to darken it up. Now, you might notice that there is some yellow in this guy's eyes. You might not. It's hard to see on camera. I decided right after I stopped filming the other segment to just add a couple of drops of yellow to his eyes, which I really like. Yes, I really like that. Just because I think it's cool. I like just a little bit of light in his eyes, and then I darken it up with the black. There we go. So we don't need a ton of wash. It looks like I'm using a lot, but really what I'm doing is dropping it into the crevices so it really pools. But you still don't need a ton. There we go. That's what we want. We want this wash to sit in the crevices. Okay. that's about done. That's literally my entire thought process. We will come back when he's dry and take a look at what he looks like when he's completely dry. And there we are. This is a good time where you can add some dry brushing or other details. I choose not to. I really don't like highlights on my stone, so I'm not going to. That's about it for today. If you do want to see more videos of my thought process as I paint, drop a comment below. I hope you'll be back with us next time. Bye!